All right, this is a song that I break out every 4 years or so, give or take. Unfortunately for you, this is the year. I'm sitting at home eating dinner when I hear the telephone ring. It seems there's elections upcoming and they'd like to know one or two things. A half hour later I'm tired, but they've still got a question or two. Afterwards I called up my neighbor, and here's what I told him to do. Hey, let's all lie to the pollsters. Let's have some fun with the press. Gallup, Harris, and Zogby, let's get them all in a mess. Tell him anything we can think of, especially if it's not true. Let's all lie to the pollsters. I will if you will too. I sure get sick of the phone calls every hour of the day, although it does kind of touch me that they care about what I say. But when it comes out in the paper, I wonder who else they phone. It seems like they're calling each other, and they're doing it while they're stoned. So let's all lie to the pollsters. Let's give them all kinds of grief. Let's make them publish figures that are totally beyond belief. Let's make them look like idiots more than they already do. Let's all lie to the pollsters, 'cause Lord knows they lie to you. I tell the first one I'm voting for Smith. I tell the next one I'm voting for Jones. I tell the third one I'm voting for Elvis. I tell the fourth one I'm staying home. And I can hear pencils a-scratching. They write down whatever I say. They even believe when I tell them that I'm sure glad they called me today. So let's all lie to the pollsters. Let's make them suffer and sweat. If they think the figures they've got now are weird, they ain't seen nothing yet. Let's get them all back in talkwords, more than they're doing today. Let's all lie to the pollsters, and maybe they'll all go away. Oh, let's all lie to the pollsters. I will if you will today. Is everything too loud enough?
Yeah.
All right, I've been doing this a little while, and I wanted to do something, one of my first songs. So this one goes back about 40 years. This is a gospel tune. I'll probably do several over the course of the set here, but this is the only time I'll warn you. This one's called My Fingers Are Speaking in Tongues. My guitar sings a song that's beyond my command. Comes straight from my heart and goes right to my hand. There are no words for what 6 strings can say. I give them to God and allow Him to play. my fingers are speaking in tongues. Praise to God any way that you can. Don't think you have to the same way as me. We all are unique, it's a part of the plan. And what we are given, we're given for free. Using your gift opens doors for the giver. Blessings will flow like a wild rushing river. Praise the Lord in your own voice, or be silent, that is your choice. Prayer will be there if you look to the author. Recognize Jesus as Lord over all. He'll answer your call. I'm unworthy, Lord. How can I reply to you? I place my hand over my mouth. I've spoken once and I will not answer. Twice I have spoken and I will say no more. Used to play a lot at a place over in Warren called the Greenhouse, which is sadly closed now. It has been reborn as a food truck, but the dining room's, well, either a lot bigger or a lot smaller, depending on your perspective, and they don't have a stage, so I don't play there anymore, sadly. There's Gary McDonald and Cheryl Pulio are the owners, and Gary had a big Chevy Suburban with a 454 in it, and it was kind of a badge of honor to, after closing hours, to go out and ride around the hills in the goat, is what they call it. And I had never got I never got a ride in a goat, sadly, but that might be okay because, well, you know, they'd have to clean the whole thing out afterwards, and it just would be sad. But here's, well, very good songwriter I knew one time told me, if you've got to explain a song, you didn't write it very well. They say they're just a legend, Gary and the goat, just a made-up person in a song somebody wrote. But if you've ever seen a go-goat sticker on a car, you know they rode with Gary, and they didn't ride on tar. The goat's an old Suburban with a big block Chevrolet. You might just see it parked behind the greenhouse any day. It's usually out rambling through those old New Hampshire hills, where it sets the trees to trembling and gives coyotes chills. John Lester likes four-wheeling, and he owns a mountainside. He hosts the Mountain Mud Run, and they come from far and wide to climb the rocks and boulders and to flail around the mud. They leave a trail of broken parts mixed with sweat and blood. Gary and the goat came down to scramble through the stone, and many tried to follow, but he finished up alone. And then he hit the mud pit, and he went from end to end. No one had seen his like before, and they never would again. Now the Mountain Master trophy stood 17 feet tall, made of all the broken parts of wheelers as they fall. Mounted on a granite stone, weighed a half a ton. No truck had ever claimed it, but this year there was one. Gary went to claim the prize and lift it up on high. But old John Lester said, "There's one more thing you gotta try. You haven't been up Bounty Hill where no one's ever climbed. If you're the Mountain Master, that'll prove it for all time." Gary went, the goat drove to the bottom, and it gave a mighty roar. Gary's 7-ton right foot mashed into the floor. The goat leaped on rocks and trees, the top of Bounty Hill, and then it just kept going, and they say he's climbing still. Yippee-yi-oh, yippee-yi-yay, goat riders in the sky. I've got a buddy. His name is Jack. He says that Jesus is coming back. And when he comes, you'd better be packed. Jack used to party hardy. Now he'll pray all day. He used to treat life like a racetrack. Now he's traveling the narrow way. Some folks ask me, why does he act like that? Well, if you don't know Jesus, you don't know Jack. Jack used to live just to offend. There was no rule that he would not bend. But now those days have come to an end. He wasn't bending to submission. He just traded wrong for right. It's probably just a coincidence. He's now honest and polite. Some folks ask me, why does he act like that? Well, if you don't know Jesus, you don't know Jack. Jack doesn't sweat the daily news. His vision takes him much too far. When you're getting by in the world, he'll be swinging on a star. Have you been listening to what I have to say? If you love the world, well, go ahead and stay. I know where I'll be on Judgment Day. I don't care who's the president, I hang out with the king. Everything else just comes and goes, it don't mean a thing. Maybe you're wondering, how come I act like that? Well, if you don't know Jesus, if you don't know Jesus, I said, if you don't know Jesus, you don't know Jack. I have had the happy fortune to know a lot of good songwriters over the years. Martin, certainly not the least among them. The first really great one that I got to know was a gentleman in Sacramento, California, when I was living out there for a while, named Jerry Fulmar. I found out that Jerry was one of these guys who had been there and done that. He used to be the piano player for James Brown and Little Walter and a bunch of other, Etta James, was in their road bands. When I met him was at an open mic in a place called the Fox and Geese, which is still there, as it turns out. I'm planning on the next couple of years making a trip out to Sacramento and visiting the old stomping grounds. They still have a Thursday night open mic. And I used to go, and they would put me on like second or third, because back then I sucked. And it was the thing you do. You put them on first, which is not the case here, by the way. You were awesome. You were incredible. And everybody that's coming, you know, Austin was really good. You were really good. I took notes when you were playing, man. You know. But I go up and I do my set, and I'm sitting there. I just like watch people play. Best reason to go to an open mic night. So I go there, and this guy comes in, about 5'6". He's a black guy, really craggy face. And he is carrying the biggest suitcase I ever saw. And he walks up, and he sits in a chair. When it's his turn, hi, Dave. When it's his turn, he goes up, takes the top off the suitcase. It's an electric piano. Screws the legs on it, flips it up, plugs it in, and proceeded to blow the place away. He was incredible. Had a voice like Lou Rawls, and wrote just the best, nice, simple soul tunes, and got up there on the piano, and he's just like, this guy is just on another planet. Basically a bunch of white folkies. And he goes up there and just kind of wasted the place. When he gets all done, flips the thing back over, screws the legs off, puts the cover back on, and comes to my table. And he says, hey, I like what you're doing. Really? He says, yeah. You want to come jam with me sometime? I'm putting together a band, and I like you. You play country. You sound country. And I said, what country were you thinking? But I hung out with him for about a year and learned, and at the time I was trying to figure out how to be a songwriter. You know, I'm kind of analytical. And I would listen to the Beatles and Neil Young and Bob Dylan and try and figure out how they created the magic, you know, because magic is nothing but science that you don't understand yet, right? So I'm trying to figure out how the mechanics of songwriting go, and I'm not making it. That's why they put me on second or third at the open mic. They'd get over with, and then the songwriters would get up. And he gave me the best advice I ever got, and I pass it along to you songwriters now, which you probably already have known, judging from the quality of the material I've heard so far. Write what you feel. That's it. That's it. If you can do that, you can do that. So, and that gave me time to retune my guitar. I can see you from here. You're not that far away. I'm really very near. I can hear every word you say, every move you make, every single day. I can see you from here. I can see the clothes you wear and the car you drive and the way that you wear your hair. Was this the life you had envisioned when you were half the age that you are now? I see you every day. You seem to be most everywhere. Is something in your way? Are you struggling to explain how your life got derailed? How it came to have failed? What you wanted to be didn't turn out to be in the plan. Is this plan A? Are you where you want to be? Is this plan A? Are you happy? Are you free? Are you following the light? Is it turning out all right? Are you holding a hand in the dark of the night? When you were a child, did you have a beautiful dream? Was that vision defiled, or was it farther away than it seemed? Don't know how to get there from here. Somehow living today made tomorrow disappear. Do you remember that child trying to tell right from wrong? Wish you could run wild and forget about the words of the song, the rules of the game, the score on the board, the heat of the flame. Is this plan A? Was this your destiny? Is this plan A, or only the debris? If you could go back in time, show that child who you are, would they see your rewards, or would they just see your scars? Is this plan A? Are you where you want to be? Is this plan A? Are you happy? Are you free? Are you following the light? Is it turning out all right? Are you holding a hand in the dark of the night? The next turn that you take, the next decision that you make, you should ask yourself, is this plan A? Is this plan A? Is this plan A? For any veterans in the room. Three days, no rest, up one mountain, down the next, met our new replacements from Saigon. Well-trained, still green, spanking new grunt Marines, barely learned to put their new boots on. Word came from down the line, PC working overtime, need help right away, holding back Judgment Day. Got up and grabbed our packs, time to be heading back. You guys can tag along, we'll go yard. We were hard. Wide sand, hot sun, hard work, no fun. The Humvees and the Kevlar and the heat. Log on, email home, family hates to be alone. Make a joke about my stinky feet. Pretty girl from CNN, sergeant says, come on in. Microphone stuck in my face, don't I want to leave this place? I know what she wants from me, please badmouth the CIC. I just smile as if I'm playing cards. We were hard. Two went over the hill last night. They're convinced we've lost this fight. I wrapped the rags they left around my feet. General Washington just came down. We're loading the boats for Trenton town. Gonna show them Hessians we ain't beat. Trying to sleep in a foot of snow. Ammunition's running low. Worst food I've ever had. Maybe King George ain't so bad. New recruit starts the ball, wonders if it's worth it all. We get packed to go and set the guard. Freedom, our ultimate reward. And tyrants we don't hold in high regard. We were hard. And if that song was about you, thank you. Some fool knocked this thing out of tune. Boy, you never can tell. This is a song that mechanical devices, you know. I like to make a digital one and it'll play better than I do too. This song's kind of my answer to all those Beach Boys songs about hot rods. Well, I can carry anything that you can put in your truck and it won't get rained on at all. Grab the kids after work and take them fishing. Keep my tackle in the back to fall. Yeah, you'll never see my wife in it. I stuck her with a new Corvette. She's mad 'cause it's almost paid for. She ain't even driven it yet. I said, baby, the first time I saw it, you know we're planning to see. Honey, please don't make me give up the keys. You know I got the need to be a minivan man. Yeah, I'm a minivan man. Baby, if you can try and understand why I'm a minivan man. She's a town and country with a big V6 and these sexy fake wire wheels. 73 cup holders, classy as a Coupe de Ville. Yeah, the guys at the mall, they're all jealous. They be driving these pickups and Jeeps. I've had plenty of offers to sell it. No way, man, this one's for keeps. Yeah, my brother-in-law, he used to laugh and laugh. Said, that'll never happen to me. Very next day, he's coming my way in a Mazda MPV. Now he's a minivan man. Like I'm a minivan man. I think he's come to understand why I'm a minivan man. Now, sometimes I think about getting something with an engine just a little bit larger. Then I settle on back in that soft leather seat. Think about bolting on a turbocharger with a 13 speakers and a good CD. It's like driving Carnegie Hall. Got a cold Diet Coke in the cup holder. Yeah, life ain't no trouble at all. Yeah, you can keep your Humvee, you can keep your Mercedes-Benz. Me and my grocery getter, right there's a living end. Guess I'm a minivan man. Like I'm a minivan man. God needs hope to understand why I'm a minivan man. When I started playing guitar, I wanted to be a songwriter right from the beginning, and I spent about 10 years doing it badly. I like to think I'm improved a little bit. I know this, I don't remember any of the songs I wrote before. But I had a long-term goal in mind. I wanted to write a rock opera of Lord of the Rings. This was way before Peter Jackson did the movie series. And so some 20-odd years later, I'm sitting there with my kids, and there was a cartoon version. It came out in the 70s. To tell you how long ago this was, we rented the VHS tape, and we're watching it. The cartoon version by Ralph Bakshi. It's quite good, actually. I recommend it. And we're watching this, and it comes to the scene where, I don't know how familiar you are with Lord of the Rings, but I'll just assume you are. It came to the scene where Frodo shows up at Rivendell and finds his uncle Bilbo, who he hasn't seen in ages and ages. And the first thing on Bilbo's mind is, do you have the ring? Not, oh, my nephew that I haven't seen in a couple of decades. No, the first thing on his mind is, do you have the ring? And Frodo's like, well, yeah, and he got it on a chain around his neck. So he takes the ring out, and the look on Bilbo's face and he wanted to grab it. And he stopped himself, and he goes like that and turns around and goes, don't these adventures ever end? And right there, I understood the whole story on an entirely different level. I sat down, I scribbled out the words, I grabbed my guitar, the music fell right off it, and bang, there I was, had a 3.5-minute song. I looked at that, and I went, shoot, there goes my rock opera. So, oh well. But it ain't a bad song, so I'm going to play it for you now. Called The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. My name is Bilbo Baggins, Shire is my home. Never was an adventurer, never tempted much to roam, till Gandalf came a-calling, needing help out on the road. And it sounded so inviting, I couldn't help but go. Then I met this sorry creature who was looking for his ring. How was I to know that I would find the silly thing? Didn't think too much of it, though it was sorta nice. Never even noticed when it started, turned my heart to ice. Finally left that ring with Frodo, went on my lonely way. Made a stop at Rivendell to hang out for a couple days. 17 years later, Frodo shows up at the door, and the pull the ring had on me was stronger than before. But now I know the ring was made by Sauron's evil hand, and if he got it back, he'd have dominion over the land. So to Mordor to destroy it, go Frodo and his friends, and I'll be glad to see that day. Oh, Gandalf, don't these adventures ever end? carries a ring of power. It fits on every hand, draws us to the dark Lord, puts us under his command. Has dominion in our world, even makes us disappear, so that only our own thoughts and dreams are what we see and hear. We must go to the Master who was raised up from the dead and ask him to remove this curse from off our hobbit head. Give it up to someone who will drop it in the flame and recognize the fact that the world will never be the same. I think I got time for a couple more. This is a song I wish I could never have written. Wrote it after my daughter passed away, which coincidentally happened about 2 weeks after B.B. King passed away. So like everybody else, I had all my B.B. King albums and CDs out, and I'm listening to them all the time, and all this other great blues stuff, you know. Albert Collins and just everybody that played the blues. This is actually a tough one to get through, so bear with me if you will. I think I understand the blues in ways I didn't yesterday. I've always loved to play the notes. I hear them differently today. I used to sing them like a song, like putting on the evening news. But someone's gone and things have changed, and now I understand the blues. You plant a seed into the earth, grows like a flower or a tree. Add some water, feed the soil until it's standing tall and free. And then the wind just knocks it down and it rocks you to your shoes. You almost wish that was the end, but now you understand the blues. An intellectual disturbance rolling like thunder through my brain. If it weren't happening so slowly, I might think I had gone insane. I'm not mad, but I've got questions. about the things that love can choose. And in that long wait for the answer, guess I'll just have to play the blues. I feel a hand upon my shoulder with strength much greater than my own. Without it, I would not be standing. Without it, I would be alone. So I guess I'll be on my way now. So you can do what you must do. I'd stay, but I've been called by someone. All right, I'm going to finish up with one that the band that I'm in called the Red Hat Band. We're starting to do that. I'm trying to get us ready to make another CD. We've made a CD about in 2017, and a couple of these songs are on it. You can find it on Bandcamp. We've had 1,000 copies made, and we probably gave half of them away, but they're all gone now. But you can still find it on Bandcamp. Just look for Red Hat Band. And I'm trying to get us ready to do another one. But the trouble with this band is we live at the three corners of the state. It's a good thing we don't live in Wyoming because we'd need 4 members, you know. And we never get to practice. And by that, I mean never get to practice. So anything new that we add to our set, we just email each other the link to the YouTube video, because we do mostly covers. Or if I'm bringing an original in, it has to be something that they can learn on stage in front of an audience right then. So it has simplified my songwriting. And I've also been doing this long enough, I've started stealing from myself. The music to this one is actually from a song I wrote about 10 years ago. And I had one that I'd wanted to write, and it just wasn't working out. The music I had for it, and the way the lyrics work, it just wasn't coming together. So I stole this music from that song because I liked it, and reworked the lyrics so that they fit. One of those days when I feel lost in the woods. Big bear growling, wolves are howling. One of those lost and lonely, feels like I'm the only. They're out there calling, and darkness is falling. Alone among savages, hearing the call. They're coming to get you, be ready to fall. At the edge of the world, lost and alone, life on the line, fresh out of time. Those carousel horses that they taught us to ride make us easy pickings like a yard full of chickens. They're coming to get you. Don't try to run, fighting to live and killing for fun. They're coming to get you, blood on their breath. Don't look behind you, just might be your death. If I could talk to the animals and they talk to me, they'd smile when I tell them that I think I am free. Are you free from the hunger, free from the lust, free from the day that you turn back to dust? look to the sky and start to pray. One by one, stars go away. You're alone in the jungle. We don't care what you need. Keep playing our games while we kill and feed. You're alone among savages. Can't you hear the call? I'm coming to get you. Be ready to fall. Don't try to run. Blood on my breath. Don't look behind you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Martin, for doing this whole thing.